He's 10 years old. He's crazy about baseball. He's Brendan Moran, and this is the Brendan Moran Show, sponsored by Burrito Express.
Season 3, episode...
I think it's 5.
5?
Yeah, I think last week was 4. 5 or 6. Not important. Unless you're keeping track at home, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. It's your show. You got to keep track.
If I can just search it up on YouTube, just see my latest podcast.
That's true. Technology. Well, can we welcome our guest to the show, Tim Stauffer, former MLB pitcher and Little League coach here in town.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me today, guys.
Yeah. One of the best questions I thought of was, did you ever hit off Randy Johnson?
No, I did not, and thank goodness. He was probably about as nasty as they got. Right-hander, left-hander. I remember guys coming in after facing him and not a comfortable at bat. 6'10", reaching out on a mound. Looks like he's probably just dropping the ball in there. But, a lot of pitchers looked like Randy Johnson when I was up hitting because I wasn't a great hitter, but I never did face Randy. He was pretty impressive to watch.
Mm.
How did you prepare for that? You played in the era when National League pitchers still had to get up and hit, and your manager Bruce Bochy was a big fan of using the pitchers as as an offensive weapon.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part of the game. Obviously, the game has changed, and that's no longer a part of it. But as a pitcher, I enjoyed that because I got to face a pitcher, which is a lot better than facing like a David Ortiz or a designated hitter. But I like being part of the game, getting on base, getting dirty. Having a chance to hit, get the run over, getting near 8 school kind of fundamental baseball. I think my career average was 150, which is, I don't know, for a pitcher, maybe average, maybe slightly above average. I'm not sure. I did manage to get a hit in my first at bat, so I was able to get the monkey off the back because there are, there's a handful of guys that have had 50 at bats where you don't get a hit. It's hard to hit. You got those fielders out there, and but I did enjoy that part of the National League game. It didn't impact how long you could stay out in the mound at times in a close game. If your spot came up to hit, they're going to pinch hit for you. But, I think fans now want to see more excitement, more offense. So I do get it and understand why now there's designated there on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So how many teams did you get to play for in your career? You played about a decade.
Yeah, I put on the Padres jersey most of my career, and then I was with the Twins in 2015 for about half the year, and then I got released from them, worked my way back to the big leagues with the Mets, and that was actually the year they went to the World Series. I wasn't on the World Series roster, but I was able to get a NLCS ring, and then I was with the Diamondbacks in spring training in 2016, but that was it after that. No, that was kind of the end of my career. Mostly with the Padres here in town, which was... after going other places, is pretty special to be here, play at Petco Park. It doesn't really get any better than this.
Yeah. Another question: how does it feel to be on a baseball card?
It's pretty cool. I still remember signing that first Topps contract. I think it was like a little $5 check they sent you. The minor leagues, I was a higher draft pick, so I was able to get a draft card. Not all minor leaguers get the major league cards. They have minor league affiliate cards and whatnot, but was able to get a card. Was actually able to be on a baseball card box. One of I forget which brand it is. My parents scavenged, didn't actually have it here at the house, but yeah, cool to get a handful of cards. I'll still occasionally get some in the mail for people to sign, and it's kind of funny. I gave the Little League young team this year some of my old cards in their little gift bag, and one of the kids looked at it and he's like, "What happened to you?" That was 20 years ago. You age a little bit with kids and whatnot. But yeah, it was really cool having a card. I was a big card collector as a kid. Every Christmas, my grandmother would give me the Topps whole box set. I'd look through them. I would organize them team by team. So I was a big collector of cards. So when I was, rookie year, able to get that rookie year card was pretty special.
Can you walk people through what the best way is to get a major league autograph? Because, we've gone to a lot of games, and sometimes it seems like the team's really into it, and other times, they're doing their work, getting ready for the game.
Yeah, if it's a simple baseball card type thing, I would say the easiest way is to send it directly to the team with the player's name on it. I imagine some of the big big name guys, I can't actually imagine how many signature requests and card requests they get. But in spring training, we have some time and we get them throughout the year. We get fan mail, and I know a lot of guys, big name guys, will have some of the clubhouse attendants help open them up and get them all ready to sign. A lot of guys will sign. You might not, but you also might. And I know there's a lot of things on the internet you can find where people live. I guess my address is out there, and I still get some at my house, my parents' house, and I sign them when I get them and send it back. So at the games is tough. It's not impossible. You just got to get there early, kind of know where to stand. Yeah, if you want to get a signed ball, be polite. Please and thank you always go a long way. Eye contact, handshake if the player will allow. But if you want to get a card or a picture signed, sending a little handwritten, personalized note, I think is nice, because you'll get some of those where it's they do a pretty stock letter where it's general to everybody, but every once in a while we'll get a nice long personalized letter, which is pretty cool. And they talk about a certain game they may have been at that you were at. And yeah, I like to send a card back, and I like personalizing the cards for the people sign. Not that they're going to make any money selling my card, but some of the other big name guys. Also sitting outside the hotel, people do that a lot. Visiting teams stay. I think a lot of them downtown stay beyond me. You'll see a lot of people standing outside the hotel when the guys are walking to the field on the road. They kind of knew where all the players would sit. Stay. So you got to pick and choose your spots, but you can do it the ultimate way in the mail with a stamp and a self-addressed stamped envelope, and yeah, you might get it back.
Does it ever get old signing autographs?
No, I never had any problem, especially for kids. You see some familiar faces of the I'll use the autograph hounds, the nice word, for some of the adults that you would see everywhere with booklets of pages of cards, and who knows what they do with them. I think they try to make some money off them, or when they send kids to sign their cards. But the kids, I'll sign for kids all day. Spring training, you can get a lot of autographs if you're able to get out there. A lot more downtime there, more relaxed atmosphere. But yeah, never mind signing for anybody.
Yeah, it does seem to get a little crazy along, the walkway to the dugouts. You see these older guys with entire notebooks filled with, whoever they see, they just start, coaches, former players. It's a little crazy.
Yeah, I think there's a fine art to that. There's some guys that are very organized, and they have them all out, and they have their favorite card. A lot of times they'll say, I've got extra, do you want one? And a lot of times in the mail I'll get extra cards. People are like, feel free to keep them, and I'll pass them along and keep them for the kids. So save them for Little League little goodie bags, so kids can make fun of how old you look.
Don't we all look older?
I blame my children. They opposite it.
Yeah, me too. I had a full head of hair, when I had them.
What'd you do to your old head? Good.
What's your next question, bud?
Who's your favorite player that you met?
Okay, favorite player that I met. Let's see. That is a good question. As a kid, I'll maybe answer a question you didn't ask. But as a kid, my favorite team was the Red Sox, and I liked Wade Boggs as a hitter and Roger Clemens. And I actually, a couple of years ago, was pretty cool. Actually, so yeah, Wade Boggs, because I was able to play in a Hall of Fame game in Cooperstown a few years ago. Each team had one older retired player, made up two teams, and I was able to pitch in a game a couple of years ago out in Cooperstown, New York. Wade Boggs was the manager for the other team. Ozzie Smith was our manager, which was pretty cool. So I got to meet him. He signed one of my posters. My parents brought a poster that says Boss Boggs on it that I had as a kid, and kind of crazy. That was hanging up in my room, and I was able to play against his team, and he signed it for me. So I'll say Wade Boggs.
I like Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs used to eat a whole bunch of fried chicken before games.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. That guy had some kind of Tony Gwynn-like stats where you look up some of the crazy things he could do with the bat and not striking out and getting hits. And
it's kind of like a Juan Soto, just had great control of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't swing at balls.
Luis Ariz type, a little bit more power maybe.
And then knew how to ride horses when they won World Series with the Yankees.
Yep.
Way before your time. Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Why'd they have to ride horses?
He jumped on the back of a police horse after winning the World Series.
Pretty cool.
Why did they just have police cars?
Because it was in the stadium. I think the police cars would have tore up the turf.
I think he was feeling good, played for a long time, getting that World Series ring.
It bounced around a little bit.
Tampa, a lot of Fenway, a lot of time with the Red Sox.
What's your favorite bobblehead?
Of these? Let's see. I mean, is this Zach Gallen with the shades? That looks pretty cool. I'm always a little partial to the pitcher. He's got a little style there with the Oakley spectacles and a good pitcher to boot. Corbett Carroll's got the speed. I don't know. I think I think the Zach Gallen one. How about you? Yeah. How come?
He hit the no-hitter against the Padres.
I'm going to bring that up. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a stat line on the back. No history walks. That's good day in big leagues right there.
We've talked about it before on the show, but he likes to watch the replay of that no-hitter. And, Tyler Gilbert's got his dad up in the stands. He had made, I think, 3 or 4 relief appearances in his rookie season coming up. And then his first start goes out and throws the no-hitter.
Amazing.
Just crazy.
It's hard to one-up that.
Yeah, and then the now poor guy, I think he's at AAA with the Reds organization.
Oh, was he?
But then with the Phillies.
If they traded him, he started this season with the Reds organization.
Well, first he was at Phillies, now Reds.
I might have gotten confused by the uniforms.
Yeah, similar.
Tim.
Yeah. I'd say I'm colorblind, but I just.
How were you drafted? Like high school, college?
Okay, good question. I was actually drafted twice. So I was drafted out of high school. That's kind of a funny story. I didn't, I played baseball, played a lot of other sports, and then I actually was working at a grocery store. I was bagging groceries, and actually my dad was like the director of the store or whatever, ran the store, and I was bagging groceries, and he came up to me and said, "You got drafted." I said, "Drafted in what?" He said, "Baseball." He's like, "The Orioles just picked you." I'm like, "Okay." I went back to work, and I didn't really know much about it. It's a little different than things are now. It was a 36th round. I wanted to go to college. I had some college scholarships, so I chose college, and that I think was a good choice. So I was in college, 2000 to 2003. 2003 draft, my junior year, I was drafted by the Padres in the first round. I was a 4th pick, and had some injuries kind of towards the end there, but I was able to sign with them and get my career started that next year in 2004.
How did you not just be like, all right, I'm done bagging groceries, I'm going to the major leagues?
I didn't really know much about the draft. Obviously, I followed baseball. I played a lot of baseball. Yeah, I don't know. I guess where I grew up, no, that didn't really happen much. So it wasn't really in the news. 2000. Long time ago. Things are a lot different now with the age of the internet and computer and whatnot. But I think I just want to get my paycheck and get paid.
It's crazy to see some of those older drafts where people are listening in on like speakerphone.
Yeah,
trying to find out. Even the teams are listening.
Yeah. The draft in 2003. I remember we were still at college at University of Richmond because we had just lost in the Super Regionals out in Stanford, and we flew back and we had done a summer term class to get extra classes in, and we listened on the computer, not dial-up internet, but it was not the best connection. And I know the scout that drafted me was trying to call me, but I didn't have cell phone service, so I heard it live on the computer, which was also pretty cool, surrounded by teammates and friends and stuff.
I mean, you would have been on the Stanford team, but you're not good.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah,
I would have been on the Stanford. Yeah.
You look at your dad, okay?
Yeah.
And, I mean, they had a good program.
Wait, you went to Stanford?
No, I went to Scranton.
A little different. The Stanford of the East.
Yeah, the Stanford of Northeast Pennsylvania, maybe.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yes, pretty much.
Starts with an S. Purple versus crimson.
Yeah,
The Steelers just not good enough.
I wasn't.
It's an honest point.
I've already told you several times that you guys are much better at baseball than I ever was.
Mm.
It's probably that coaching from dad.
That's why your dad never let you pitch.
He never let me pitch. He always told me I was the 4th pitcher, but he had a 3-man rotation. And even when the 3rd pitcher had a sling on, I'm like, I'm going to get in this game.
And then you took it off.
And then he took it off. It was a joke. I was like, thanks a lot. Yeah. We let you guys pitch. If you want to get out there and pitch, you pitch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust me, you and your brother both have much more athletic skills than your father. You're better than him?
Yeah.
At what?
Baseball.
Okay. That would be, I'm sure he would debate.
Sounds like a challenge, right?
Yeah.
I think he might be tuning into this after and get a little extra work in.
Maybe we should have a contest.
I already beat him with the ball like 5 times.
Okay. That's a good measure.
Where's that like walking on the field as starting pitcher?
It's very exciting. Coming out of the bullpen. So yeah, very different starting pitcher than a reliever. You get a little bit more adrenaline as a reliever because you're in the game, you're warming up, and they open that gate. I'd always kind of head down, run, stop when I get to like the dirt. But yeah, starting pitcher, try to kind of conserve your energy and your adrenaline. But especially at home when you get to take the mound first, I really enjoyed that, setting the tone of the game. And the game can't start until you're ready. So yeah, I love taking them out at home at Petco, my favorite ballpark to pitch at. And yeah, very, very honored to have been able to start. I was able to start an opening day in St. Louis in 2011, which was really cool. They were doing the whole, horses and cars going around the outfield. And that was a really cool experience. My family was able to be there for that. So that was probably one of the highlights of started games.
Did you ever win like an award like the Coke Club Cy Young or anything?
No, definitely not a Cy Young. I think if I were a better pitcher, I could have been in the running for a Gold Glove because I only made one error my whole career. But typically those awards go to kind of an all around. You got to be a really good pitcher. Not that I wasn't good, but I wasn't, Cy Young mentioning. But yeah, you got to be usually a really good pitcher and a pretty good fielder. But there are a lot of very good athletic fielding pitchers. I'm not saying people that won it didn't deserve it because they definitely did. Very athletic. You see a lot of pretty cool plays. I always like seeing those pitchers make that sliding play down the third base line, popping up and making a throw.
You mentioned being the opening day pitcher, and a couple seasons ago, my older son was playing your team, and one of the kids gets on base, and he was new to the league. He's like, yeah, and your son was out on the mound. I think he walked, and so he gets to first base, and I'm sitting there coaching, and he says to me, he's like, "Do you know his dad played in the major leagues?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "He's 10 feet away from us right over there." He's like, "Was he any good?" I'm like, "Well, he started opening day for the Padres." I'm like, "They don't just let, any schlub off the street do that."
Yeah,
I would say he was pretty good.
That was a really cool honor to be able to do that. And yeah, that's something I'll always remember for sure.
I'm just going to stop this real quick. Okay, go ahead.
So I don't really hear their question.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, the Diamondbacks jersey team, obviously big fan. Where'd that come from?
Little League.
Okay.
So it was the COVID season. He got to play, I think, 2 or 3 games before they suspended the season.
They just wanted full logo. So then, yeah.
Yeah. So they were wearing the road grays here in town, and I think he just thought the uniform looked cool because I coached him in t-ball, but he was on the Astros, and
okay.
Being a Yankees fan, there was no way that the Astros. So this would have been.
I was an Astros fan for a little bit.
Yeah. We wouldn't be talking that much if you were an Astros. You were a Yankees fan when you were born.
Well, when I was born, I didn't have a choice.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for a few years, you wore the Yankee stuff all over the place.
Because I didn't have a choice.
His dad dressed you up. No, it was kindergarten. He was on the Astros, and then first grade he was playing single A silver, I think. Yeah, I think it was single A silver, and he was the Diamondbacks, and it just kind of stuck out like that logo.
Yeah, they changed up their uniforms. Actually, when I was there, they had some of that teal incorporating some of the newer designs than the old purple and black. But yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, trying to keep up. I mean, you could go broke trying to keep up with all the hats and uniforms.
They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Changing them up every year, little subtle differences, and they're not getting cheaper.
What do you think about the All-Star game and having like a special uniform for that?
I wish you liked that.
Yeah, I like them this year.
I haven't actually seen this year's, but I wish they would wear their team uniforms like the old days. I like that.
I think it was super cool to see all the different uniforms out on the field and, see Tony Gwynn gunning down. I just totally blanked on the Ironman's Cal Ripken Jr., trying to extend a single to second and get him gunned down by Tony Gwynn. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a generational difference.
At least you still have like the different logo for a hat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm old school.
Yeah, I think the kids probably enjoy the new ones.
Yeah, all the different.
Isn't they just wear the jersey that just looks ugly with that black, blue?
But it was cool because it was all different uniforms out on the field.
That just looks.
And you knew who they played for. Yeah.
We seen look at their hat.
Well, yeah, but now they have like this year's. I don't know why you like that this year.
I haven't seen them yet.
Cool.
If they're anything like last year's, I know those weren't well received.
Yeah,
Those were better than this year.
there's some stripes and yeah.
I'm just trying to sell some jerseys.
Especially the AL, it's like kind of like a cream color.
I'm off white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little strange.
Padres just. I don't like their.
Do you like the new uniform? Do you like the Padres brown? Like that color scheme, the brown and gold?
It's okay.
Good.
I can't believe they're City Connect.
You like the Serpentines one?
Yeah, it's pretty good. My favorite is the Astros.
I didn't like the Padres one at first, but it's definitely grown on me.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to turn on a game on Friday nights and see the City Connect.
I know the kids like it.
Yeah. I
And the moms, I think the hot pink. My wife likes the hot pink hat. Yeah.
I like turning on the games on Sundays and seeing the military uniforms
Camo.
over the years.
Yeah. That's my favorite hat that I have for the Diamondbacks.
We saw military opening day was one of his first. I think it might have been his first Padres game, and the SEALs were parachuting into Petco Park.
That's cool.
So what's it like when you go to Petco Park now? Are you?
We're actually going today to the game with the boys. I mean, there was a little bit time when I was soon done playing, maybe, the next year or 2 years, where I still knew some of the players, a lot of familiar faces where it was a little odd, but now now it's fine going there. I mean, it's go as a fan. My kids love it. Easy to kind of blend in and just watch the game. And
you don't like pull the MLB Players Association card out?
I mean, we can get tickets kind of when we need to, and we go to a handful of games. But the nice thing now here in town, the ballpark's harder to get a ticket, which is fun because of a lot of electricity in the atmosphere and the crowd, and they've been drawing really well, and teams hanging in there, going through some ups and downs as a lot of teams are. But the fans have been faithful, especially the last couple of years, and I mean, I think in my opinion, it's the nicest ballpark in Major League Baseball to go attend a game, and from the field, the playing surface, the weather, the food, everything, you name it, customer service. I think it's top notch. I really like going there.
Yeah, we have a great time going down there. It definitely is one of my favorite parks to go to. I spent a lot of time at Qualcomm, so I was a little iffy on how was JB going downtown. So it's a lot. I think it was a lot easier getting in and out of Mission Valley for the games. But my question for you would be, how difficult was it to transition when you went to spring training with the Diamondbacks and then did get picked up by the team?
Yeah, that was at that point physically I didn't feel great, so that made it a little bit easier to kind of call it a career. I think if I had felt like body was in best condition, arm felt great, felt like I could still really compete, I think that would have been harder. But at that point, I had some back issues, some shoulder stuff going on. That part of it made it a little bit easier to say, hey, this is the time. The year before, I'd kind of battled some injuries, and it just wasn't. I wasn't able to be competitive the way I knew I could. Just kind of going up there with half a glass of water is a little hard to do against some of the best hitters in the world. And as a competitive person, it's hard to not bring your full everything you can do to the plate. So yeah, it was a tough transition, but I had some young kids, and they kept it easy to be busy and distracted. And it was fun as they got older, being able to get back into the game and the coaching side of things, which I really enjoy working with the kids.
Did you have any thoughts about staying with the game, coaching, working your way up through?
A little bit. initially, and then kind of realizing the time needed to do that, and with the stage of life that my kids were at and wanting more kids, it just wasn't a good fit for our family. I dabbled in a little bit of TV broadcasting here and there, just kind of a part-time thing where that has a little bit more flexibility, but the full-time baseball job is really tough on the family and being gone. You're probably gone more than as a player, which, when we had no kids, it was pretty easy, or kids were really little, it was easy to, kind of balance. But when kids are getting older, and now I got 4 kids, we're busy, the both of us, trying to juggle kind of daily life and coaching and, getting the kids all their activities. So I'm very grateful and thankful to be able to be present and be home, and still try to teach them a thing or two about baseball, even though they don't want to necessarily hear it from their dad. I don't know if any kids are like that you know of there.
Yeah, listen, what do dads know? What do we know? Even when they played in the major league.
Yes. I had them go to somebody else, work with them, but yeah.
Brandon, what does your mom always tell me? That I'm not allowed to coach you?
Oh.
It's a tough dynamic, that's for sure.
Except during the fall.
Well, yeah, during the fall, got to coach in fall ball a couple times.
It's a little more laid back atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, looking in from the outside, being a major league player seems really glamorous, but like how tough is it? Like I know 162 games and 180 some days, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I wasn't a position player. I didn't play every day. It was hard, but it's still awesome. I mean, you get to go to the ballpark every day, play a game that you love, and get paid to play a game. People come out, pay money to come see you play. Travel was tough at times. I think once you start having kids and families, that makes it more challenging, especially for the wives. But I wouldn't have done anything different. I would have played as long as I could. Made a lot of good friends, a lot of good memories, lots of ups and downs. But you learn from mistakes and battling some injuries, and you learn from failure probably more than success. And in baseball, there's a lot of failure, both as a pitcher and a hitter. So I think it teaches a lot of life lessons, and I think that's why it's one of the best games there is for kids. And I like being around it as much as I can now.
Brendan, I think we were talking earlier about you had a question about a video game.
Oh, were you ever in like MLB The Show where you look?
Yeah, the older. So I don't know what games they would be, but I believe some of the games, from 2005 probably until 2014, any of those games, which would be Xbox, PlayStation. I don't even know what those games were called back then, but
he was like EA Sports.
Yeah, not quite the realistic graphics of the show 2024 or those kind of things, where now they're sometimes hard to distinguish what's real and what's not. But I'm sure I gave up lots of home runs in video games too.
Did you ever play as yourself?
I did not. No. No, I don't think I wanted to see, more hard hit balls than I already saw for, parts of 10 years. So no.
I would have been like increasing my character skills.
That's a good idea. I should create one now. You should be like, this is who I want to be.
I would have been winning the Cy Young every year on that game.
Take the best pitches from, each pitcher and make one little superhuman pitcher.
That's what Brendan's trying to do right now. He wants to create some videos of that too. He's got a digital avatar of himself known as DJ Chunks.
Okay,
playing in the major league.
DJ Chunks, what's that name all about?
Started at my friend's house. We were just like playing a game. It was like this fighting game, and we're doing like the waves, and like I was just like up on like a roof. And I was like started like punching an air vent, and it looks like I was DJing.
Okay.
And then I was in a Panda, so I was like really chunky.
It does.
And then they call me DJ Chunks.
Okay. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, DJ Chunks is playing for the Royals.
Okay.
Got drafted by that organization.
Wanted to get drafted. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
We have any other questions there that you want to ask, Brendan?
How many people do you think wore your uniform?
Oh, probably not very many. The jerseys, I don't know. My kids have some from when they were little. I don't know if I've ever been to a game and seen anybody else in one. I know they would sell some at the end of the season and whatnot, but not too. I don't think I've ever seen one around the ballpark.
What's it like hanging out in the bullpen when you're a reliever?
Bullpen's great. I love the bullpen. I like being a starting pitcher because you had, your schedule is great, but as far as being in the game, being in the bullpen was great. We had a good group of guys. The game went by much quicker too, a little more into the game. I was a kind of pitcher reliever where that had to be ready from the first pitch to the last pitch of the game. I didn't have like, hey, I'm going to pitch 8th inning or 7th inning. There were times where a guy threw 2 pitches and he got hurt. I had to go run on the field right when the game started. So I had to be ready to go the whole time, which kind of kept the game moving along. But we had some downtime, play some games, and, got to interact with the fans a little bit. And just, it's a long season. You can't take everything too seriously or you'll get burned out. But, it was fun being down there. Petco is a great bullpen because you get a nice view of the field. There's some other bullpens. I mean, old Wrigley, we were on a bench, like, facing this way, and home plates. Like, why does my neck hurt? Because they're, the fans are like, peanut shells are on your jersey. They're like right on you. But, bullpen's fun.
Well, what was it like being on the Padres, probably in recent times with some of their best pitchers, Jake Peavy, Trevor Hoffman, were you able to like sit down and extract as much information from these guys as possible?
Yeah, they were great. I mean, really as a whole, the whole time I was there, we had a really good pitching staff. I think the problems fall offensively with, scoring some runs. So, we played that style of game where it was kind of low scoring games and we had to have a good bullpen and good starters. And Jake, obviously Cy Young winner here in San Diego, and then Trevor, second most saves of all time. And he was very gracious to young players, taking them under his wing, taking them out to dinner, working out the off season, always eager and willing to talk about baseball or whatever it is else is off the field where, you see or hear some superstars that kind of do their own thing and hey, each their own. But Trevor was very welcoming and, we still see him quite a bit and he's still the same guy he's always been, even being a Hall of Famer, which is pretty cool.
I forgot what question I was going to say. How many people did you hit?
Not a lot. I hit the first batter I ever faced in Major League Baseball, though. Do you remember who it was? Yeah, Ryan Friel, who's no longer with us, but yeah, curveball that slipped out of my hand and hit him, and the next guy hit a home run. It was a rocky first inning. I can remember it clear as day. My parents were there, and I don't know how they're still alive after watching that, but we were able to get through it and ended on a successful note. But yeah, it hit a few guys. Only ever had to hit one guy intentionally. I can't get in trouble for saying that now because of the way Garrison. I was probably the guy they wanted to get hit by anyway, because, I didn't throw that hard. So,
why'd you have to hit them?
Because our players had gotten hit, I think 2 or 3 times they came, and just kind of a way to
Did you hit
police.
Pitcher?
No, it was no, I wouldn't hit a pitcher. You usually get somebody else in there in the right situation, and harder than it seems to intentionally hit somebody because you're not trying to throw up and in. But
so how does that order come? Do they pull you aside and
yeah, just in the dugout, just say, hey, we got to go. It's kind of just walk by. Hey, we got to go get somebody. Like, okay, it's part of the game. It still happens. It's now, the teams get warnings a little quicker now, and guys are throwing so hard now. It's pretty scary.
So that first at bat, was that mostly nerves or?
I would say nerves. Just body going too fast. For the situation, and just day game in Cincinnati is a little sweaty. It's hot. Nerves. I think I hit 2 batters the first inning. I hit Adam Dunn in the leg with a cutter, and he's a huge human being, a big donkey. So, yeah, faced Ken Griffey Jr. the first inning. That was pretty cool. The kid,
one of the best swings ever.
Yeah, he was kind of on the back end of his career, but still pretty cool to see.
It's got to be so intimidating to see people that are superstars like that you grow up idolizing, and then
you're playing against them. And
I mean, I have nothing to compare it to, so I'm just living vicariously right now through you.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. You kind of pinch yourself, and I think now being able to look back on all of it, while you're doing it, you're like not thinking about it too much because it's what you know how to do and it's what you do and it's your job. But I think kind of being able to reminisce now is pretty cool. And
yeah, Brendan, any questions about Little League coaching? maybe with like curveballs and breaking.
Oh, how do you throw a slider?
Slider. How old are you?
That wasn't the question I was expecting you to ask.
Yeah. When you are, let's see, maybe 15,
22.
15 years old, we can talk breaking balls. Even my son, I don't let him throw breaking balls. Fastball, changeup, sure, a long time till you can put it where you want it. And yeah, there'll be a time where that, you know, you can use the breaking balls. I think in Little League, the temptation is to use it because it can kind of be a trickery pitch for hitters, but it's not necessarily the best for your arm and development.
I know how to throw a curveball.
And what have I told you since the beginning? The exact same thing he just said. Fastball, changeup.
Yep. I mean, and if you throw your fastball in different corners, it's like 4 different pitches. So you can, command that where you want it to, and then we can talk about that. But you're a little bit old.
Well, we should probably wrap this up and be respectful of Mr. Stauffer's time. What do we say, bud?
Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You want to close this one out?
Yep. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell.
And who's it sponsored by?
Burrito Express.
So when you're in the Phoenix area, check out Burrito Express, the best burritos out there.
Mm-hmm.